Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld. And if you're like me, you're kind of happy that February has come to a close. It was a pretty ugly one. S&P down over 3%, NASDAQ down over 4%. Of course, an apocalypse for cryptocurrencies. We'll see if that rebounds here in March. But to start things off, we have 622 companies reporting earnings this week. Monday, you've got a big old nothing burger, nothing going on. So we move to Tuesday, which has some familiar names like CrowdStrike, Target, Ross Stores, Best Buy, and AutoZone, so quite a few retailers on Tuesday. Wednesday brings you Marvell Technology, Zscaler, and MongoDB. And on Thursday, you've got Broadcom, Costco, JD.com, Kroger, and Hewlett-Packard to round out your week. And there are no earnings on Friday to speak. Well, there are some, but they're all really small cap ones, which won't have a big impact. Of course, always check your earnings calendar because there may be something on this list that's not on this list that may be in your portfolio or that you may be trading, so you always want to be aware of what those earnings calendars are. Now let's shift over to another piece of economic data that's very critical, and that is going to be the employment data for the United States. With this, we have 5 pieces of announcements. The reason this is important is, remember, the Fed right now is trying to figure out what to do with interest rates. If we get inflation going higher and higher and higher, they're going to have to raise rates. If we get growth getting lower and lower and lower, as it is, then they're going to lower rates. So just with GDP and CPI or core PCE price index kind of at an impasse. You add in the employment data, and that may further give direction to what the Fed is going to do or may do with regards to interest rates going forward. So let's dive into our employment data. Again, 5 pieces of it. We start things off on Wednesday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time with the ADP non-farm employment change. On Thursday, you get a twofer. You start things off at 7:30 with the Challenger job cuts, and then at 8:30, we have the unemployment claims. And then finally, the double whammy on Friday. You have the unemployment rate and non-farm employment change. And the unemployment rate is really the important piece for the week with regards to economic data, because that's telling you what the unemployment situation looks like. If we see that start to creep back up, remember, the past few months, it's actually been slowly going down. I think right now we're at 4%. Expectations are we might come at 4.1%. So if that starts to tick back up, that would not be very good for the economy. Of course, we're historically very, very low at this point. And one last piece for the week, for those of you that trade the euro, we do have an ECB rate announcement, right? The European Central Bank will be making a rate announcement. And right now, they're at 2.9%. Expectations are they're going to cut 25 basis points all the way down to 2.65. That will happen Thursday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And then right after that, we get the press conference at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Why is this important? Well, as always, when these bankers get grilled by the media, they may slip up. They may say something. And of course, the goal is to give clarity as to why they chose to cut 25 basis points. Why not keep it the same? Why not raise 50? What was the justification for these actions by the ECB? And sometimes that creates a lot of volatility. So for you Euro traders out there, this could be a pretty exciting day for you. And remember, that dovetails right into the opening of the U.S. markets, which kind of gives you a double whammy of volatility and price action. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.